Right. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all can hear me, and also you can see my screen. So first of all, I would like to warmly welcome all of you for the GC A-Level 21 and 22 Accounting English Medium. So we will be having a revision session, right? For 2021 students, we will be having a revision session where we will cover the entire syllabus in 6 months, right? So for 2020 A-Level, we were able to cover the syllabus in 3 months. So within that 3 months, we had more classes, but due to the COVID situation, we were able to cover within a very short time period, and also we were doing a lot of new additional things in order to do it online, right? So it was a very hard time where we were trying a lot of new things to improve in online education. Right? So based on that, we created the Google Classroom. We were conducting our classes through Zoom, Teams, and YouTube live stream. Okay, so it is not a hard thing. A-level commerce means it's not about science, right? So you don't need to worry about your O-level education, O-level results. The reason is this is completely new. I can make sure within these 6 months, you will be able to score more than 80, 90 marks if you follow the steps which I give you. Because I have been in this industry for about 14 years, right? So in this time period, thousands of students I have guided, right? Especially I was mainly focusing on professional education, especially into AAT, Chartered, ACCA, and CIMA. But since there were some issues in the uh, country, uh, I started teaching for A-level, right? But it was a very successful uh, session we had. So we were able to cover the syllabus with a lot of new techniques and using mind map systems, right? So I will just go through some of the basic things, and we will do one or two examples. We'll try to do two examples within today's sessions. Okay. So I have already given the access for the Google Classroom, right? So it's very important. The reason is all our lectures, actually the tunes, all our tunes, mind maps, the MCQ questions, and the lecture videos will be uploaded to the Google Classroom. So when you go to the Google, here you will see Classroom. So once you click on the classroom, you can see your class will be here, right? So click on that. Then you have to go to this heading called class work. So under the class work only, you will have all the notes, the MCQ questions, and all other materials, right? So I'll just show you the classes we conducted in 2020 A-level, right? So we had 3 months. So each month we had the classes, all the 16 chapters. There is a question. So can we use 2 classes for Google Classroom? Yes, you can use. You can use any number of classes in the Google Classroom, and this is very friendly. It's user friendly. You will have everything in one place. Once you have the access for this, you don't need to keep your materials in one place, and whenever you are free, you can use these materials, right? Including the videos, the notes, and the mind maps, right? So everything will be in your mobile phone. If you download the Google Classroom, you can have this. So this is the program we did for 2020 11, right? All the past papers will be here, right? So I will upload all the past papers up to 2020 into this. So when you need the papers, you can download it from here. You can just check from here. So here, month 2, we had all the chapters, right? And also another thing is, in the notes, there will be PowerPoint presentations. You can just go through them. And the MCQs, you can do it online. You take one MCQ question. Once you click on this, it will directly go to the MCQ Google form where you can do the questions online, right? You just answer all the questions, and once you submit, you can view the scores. Right, so here you will get the score, and correct answers also will be given to you. Okay, so that's about the Google Classroom. So everyone has to register with the Google Classroom, right? So in our 2021 Google Classroom, this is the classroom which we have created. In that already there are 116 students. So already there are 116 students who have registered. If you are not in the classroom, just drop me a WhatsApp message. I will do the needful. All the mind maps will be in the Google Classroom. Yeah. You can download it. I prefer for you to write them. Okay, in your normally what I did was I take a A4 sheet and I use different color pens and I write all these things in the paper. So you should have the mind map on your own writing, on your own handwriting. Then only you will remember the things. Okay, so mind maps also you can use it. So most of the chapters I will be giving a mind map. So I'm answering some of the questions that you are asking. And there was one more question. So can you show again how to log into the Google? It's once you log into the Google, you will have this 9 points. Under that, here there is Google Classroom. In the right side, there is Google Classroom. You click on that. Then there will be, I have different accounts. So I've created this for GCA 1121. So you select the account and it will go to the Google Classroom. Then these are the classes that you have enrolled. So once you click on that, there is a class work. In the class work only, you have the sessions. Right. Are we supposed to take printout of the introductory? If you join the classes, if you join our 21, 22 classes, we will be delivering the tutes to you. Right? If it is not locked down in your area, we can deliver the tutes to your home. Right. Okay. So the next thing is now the second part is now we have analyzed the past paper. This is another important thing. Right? So each year, this is second paper. Each year we have taken the questions. Question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So each chapter we analyze. So based on the analysis only, we will continue the classes. For an example, let's say non-profit organization. So non-profit organization, so you can see every year there is a question, 2019, 18, 17, 16. So every year one question is compulsory, right? So once we do the theory, once we do the basics of the question, we will cover all the past papers. So some of the past papers I will be doing online. For example, let's say 2018, 19, 17, 4 questions I will do online. And some questions I will do the videos because the time is limited. I will do a video and I will send it to, I will upload in the Google Drive where you can see from the classroom. Right? And in between, if you have any doubts, any questions, you can always send me a WhatsApp message and I will try to solve them as soon as possible. Right? So each chapter, we need to do the analysis. Right? So number 1, you need to know the full syllabus. Right? So let me show you the syllabus. Okay, so this is our plan. This is our plan, right? Within next 6 months, we will, I will try my maximum to go with this timetable, right? Today, we are doing the introductory session, 27th, right? Then 4th, 11th, we will have this chapter 1. So remember, there are 16 chapters. You have to cover 16 chapters in your A-level syllabus, right? If you do it in a proper way and don't think that company account is the most important chapter or management accounting is the most important chapter, nothing like that, right? So you have 100 marks, right? We need to get the maximum out of it. So each chapter is similarly important, right? Each chapter is similarly important. So based on that only, we will cover the syllabus and we will complete all the sessions. So 16 chapters, and grade 12, there are 10 chapters. By March 12th, we will complete all the 10 chapters in grade 12, including 20 years past papers. 20 years past papers, all the MCQs related to this, right? And for each chapter, if there are important points, I will give you the mind map. Mind map is the most important thing in when you are learning. So this is the plan. And grade 13, we have 6 chapters. So especially the accounting standards and the costing part, management accounting part, right? Okay, so next, let me explain the plan. How does it work? Right? So now for 2021, there are 2 ways I will be conducting the classes. Right? One is there will be a free session. Most of the students, they ask this question in the chat, so I'll just explain that. So the free session will be on, especially on the MCQs and some of the papers, few of papers. So mainly focusing on the MCQ. So this is free to anyone. That you can tell your friends if you think they will get benefited. Definitely it will be benefit, because the most difficult area in the accounting is the MCQs. Like most of the students, they find it difficult on MCQ part. Right? So I'm planning to give a paper every day, right, with 20 to 50 questions. So every day you have to do that questions. Right? So this class will be conducted on Thursdays. MCQ class will be conducted on Thursdays, 5 to 6:30 p.m. 5 to 6:30 p.m. every Thursday. Right? So anyone can join this. And we will have the revision session, right? revision class it will be on Friday, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Right? So this you have to join the classes, and there will be a separate Google Classroom for this. And all the materials for the classroom will be provided in this, right? And the class fee is 2,000 per month. And you will get the notes delivered to your home. All 16 chapters, notes, it will be delivered to your home. This is per month. Per month, you will have around 10 to 12 classes. 10 to 12 classes. Where if you are poor in any area, you can also join the theory class. A-level 2022, there is a theory class. So you can join that as well to catch up the theory. So the theory classes are held on Tuesdays, 6:30 to 8:30. Tuesday, 6:30 to 8:30. So if you join the revision class, you can participate for all three classes, right? The theory, revision, and the MCQ. So this is free to anyone. Okay. Right. Yeah. Recording will be provided. Okay. So what we'll do is I will start with the first chapter. So let me start with the first chapter. Right. So this is the introduction. Introduction to accounting. So when we are doing a chapter, we are mainly targeting the teacher's guide, right? Past papers and some of the important updated things. So the first chapter in your syllabus is need of accounting. Right? Why do you need accounting? Right? The importance of accounting. Okay. So under this, we learn few important things. First, the definition. What is mean by accounting? That's the first thing that you need to know. Right? As a student who is studying accounting, we need to know the definition. What is accounting? Right? There are two types of accounting. Financial accounting and management accounting. So we need to know what is mean by financial accounting, what is mean by management accounting. Right? So there are two types of accounting, financial accounting and management accounting. So we will learn the definition and the process and the input output of these two types of accounting. Then we have the definition of accounting defined, and the accounting process, the stakeholders, the current trends in accounting, the objective, what is the aim, what is the objective of accounting, and the history of accounting environment, the gestal analysis, accounting elements, important accounting terms, what is mean by asset, what is liability, capital, who are the debtors, who are the creditors, what is mean by return inward, what is the return outward. So the important terms in accounting and a concept called bookkeeping. Then we have financial statements, the output of accounting, the components, the characteristics. So this is the complete syllabus. This is the content in the first chapter. At first, we draw a framework. We draw a map, link, and create the frame for the chapter. So for each chapter, you will have to draw this. Right? I will be giving this. So when you start, take the book, take your accounting writing book. First, chapter 1. You have to write chapter 1 and draw this. Okay, you can use different color pens and draw this. So you have an overall picture about the chapter. Overall picture, what are the areas that will be covered in this chapter. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, then let's move on. This is the content. So this was taken from the teacher's guide. It says accounting and its need, introduction, objectives. So these are the areas. The same thing only I have given in this map. This map. Okay. Now the key terms. If you have studied in Tamil or Sinhala medium for your O level, so you can just go through the terms. Then let me explain the accounting mind map. This is a very important definition. This is one of the most important thing in the first chapter, where once you learn the definition, you will be able to answer any question on this chapter, accounting and its need. So this definition covers the entire chapter. Okay, so let me explain. Accounting is a function. Each term is important, right? So you understand the definition, then one by one, we will learn the terms. Accounting is a function. Accounting is a function which provides financial information, to various parties to take economic decisions of a business by collecting, recording, classifying, summarizing, and interpreting the financial transactions occurred in an accounting entity. So for the entire first chapter, you have to learn only this. The entire chapter, you have to learn only this definition. So once you learn this, you will be able to answer any question they ask in the paper. Right? So I want you all to stay until I complete this session. So we will answer for questions from A-level papers, questions from ACCA, questions from CIMA, questions from Chartered, right? AAT, right? So everywhere the content is same. You can answer any question, right? Okay, so let's start. Let's learn from the first term, function. Right. So first term is accounting is a function. So what is mean by a function? Let's see. Function means it has an input. A function has an input, a process, and an output. An input, process, and an output. So what is an input? This is a question. This is in many papers they ask what is the input of accounting? So input of accounting is the transactions and events. Transactions and events. And there is a process. What is the process? Collecting, recording, classifying, summarizing, and interpreting. Right? And there is an output. So what is the output of accounting? It's financial statements. So first thing, we need to understand what is a transaction and what is an event. Right? Just check this. Transaction. So all the transactions has three important features. All the transactions have three important features. There is two parties involved. This is also another question where you will get it in the second paper, maybe to answer. What are the features in transactions? There are two parties and there is a transfer of resources which is measurable in monetary terms. Right? So a transactions take place when an exchange, there is an exchange. For an example, obtaining a bank loan. So you take a loan and you have to repay that. Is an exchange. When you sell goods, right? You give stock and you get money. So it is called an exchange that is measurable in monetary terms. So there is a rupee value, rupees and cents, made between two parties. So if these three features, three conditions are satisfied, if these three conditions are satisfied, we call it, it's a transaction. Right. Give me 1 minute. Right. So examples, obtaining a loan, payment of wages. So all these are transactions. And remember, we are not only taking the transactions. The input says transactions and events. So we need to know what is meant by an event. So if you move to the next, we have events. So events means even where an exchange does not take place, there is no exchange. Example, a stock of goods getting destroyed. Let's say due to a fire. Due to a fire, one of the stock in the business got destroyed. So it is an event. There is no exchange. There is no exchange between parties. But there is an incident which is measurable in monetary terms. Which is measurable in monetary terms, and that affects asset, liabilities, or equity. So we call it, it's an event. So in accounting, we take transactions and event both. Right? So we know what is meant by what are the input of accounting and the characteristics of transactions and events, or the features of transactions and events. Right. Then we have next the process. What is the accounting process? This is also another very important thing. Right. There are many questions. To analyze the past papers, there are many questions from the accounting process. So let me just go through the accounting process. Right. So this is the accounting process. So we told that we learned that input of accounting is transactions and event. So we have the transactions and event, and the output of accounting is financial statements. And in between we have the process. So what is the process? Collecting, recording, classifying, summarizing, and interpreting. Collecting, recording, classifying, summarizing, and interpreting. Right. So the first step, when you take a business, the first step of the business is collecting all the records, all the documents. Right? Let's say for an example, we have, this is you, right? And your father is giving you 5,000 rupees to buy a shirt or a dress, right? And you go to the shop and he tells you, okay, you go to Odell and you buy a shirt, right? So you go to Beta and you buy a shirt for 500 rupees. You buy a shirt for 500 rupees. And you tell the father, okay, I bought it for 5,000. Father is having a doubt. He sees the quality is not good. So he tells, okay, if it is 5,000, how can he check? How can he check whether the value is 5,000 or 500 or any other amount? Yes, this, then he will ask, okay, show me the bill, right? So bill, that is the document which gives the proof, about the transaction. We call them the source document. So if you buy anything, if you do a transaction, right? If there is an exchange between two parties with a monetary value, there should be a proof. So that proof is called the source document. So in any business, the first step is collecting all the source documents. And if you don't have a source document, you don't consider that as a transaction in the books of accounts. So you just ignore that. So to record any transaction, you should have the source document. So the first step is collecting the documents. Then the second step, we are recording all the transactions in set of primary entry books, like initial set of books. So there are different transactions: sales, purchasing, obtaining a loan, paying the creditor, receiving from the debtor, paying the expenses, electricity, rent, rates, right? Receiving income, right? Return, customers are returning, or we are returning to the suppliers. So based on that, we will prepare separate set of prime entry books: sales book, purchases, day book, right? Return inward, return outward, cash book, right? So these are the prime entry books. There are mainly 7 prime entry books. So second step, we collect all the documents and we will record them in the prime entry books. In the third step, you classify using ledger accounts. So ledger accounts are T accounts. It has a debit side and a credit side, right? So there are 5 types of ledger accounts. So we will learn all five types: assets, liabilities, income, expenses, and capital. So we classify the assets separately, liabilities separately, capital, income, expenses. So third step, classifying, collecting, recording, classifying. In fourth step, we summarize. How do we summarize? Using a trial balance. And finally, we take the final amounts, and all the debit will be equals to the credit side of the trial balance. So that's the summarizing part. And the final step, we prepare the financial statement. They are income statement and statement of financial position. So this is the accounting process. This is the accounting process. Right. So let's go back to the introduction. Right. Input, process, and output. So output means the income statement and statement of financial position. Right. So we were learning the function. Accounting is a function which provides. Through this function, what do you provide? We provide information. What information? Financial information. So now we need to know what is meant by the financial information. Right. So let's see information. Let's see what is meant by information. Right. So information means they are the processed data. Processed data. Right. So using the information only, people make decisions. Using this information, people make decisions. So in accounting, what sort of information do we take? So information can be divided into two: qualitative information and quantitative information. And we don't take qualitative information. So what is meant by qualitative? Qualitative means information which could not presented in numbers. So if there is no number in the information, we call it qualitative information. For an example, the manager is skillful. Let's say in a business, there is a manager. He's a very skillful person. He has number of years experience. He's very talented. But do you provide that information? No. The cashier of the business is very trustworthy. It's very important. This information is very important for the business. But you don't provide it. Why you are not providing? Because it is only a qualitative. No numbers. No numbers. So you can't provide. What do you provide? Only quantitative information. If you can provide presented in numbers, then you provide it. But not all the quantitative information. Quantitative information divided into two: non-financial and financial. Even though you can provide it using numbers. For example, the owner is 60 years old. Owner is 60. This is a number. Manager's experience is 10 years. But you don't provide this. Why? This is not financial. This is not, there is no rupee value, rupees and cents. So we don't provide non-financial information. Then what do you provide? Only financial information. Information which can be presented in monetary terms. The annual profit 120. The total assets 50,000. So that is why they are saying accounting is a function which provides financial information. So this term is also important. You can't just say information. It's financial information, right? So that is the reason we need to learn this. Okay. Next, financial information. So it's a function. We have this, and financial information means this, right? So we provide only financial information. Then the next term, to various parties. Accounting is a function which provides financial information to various parties for many people. So who are these many people? We call them stakeholders. We call them stakeholders. So let's check who are the stakeholders. Stakeholders means the users. Users. So different users use the financial information. We can divide all the users internal and external. So there are mainly three internal users: the owners, the management, the employees. Owners, management, and the employees. Then the external users like government institutions, the customers, the suppliers, creditors, lenders, the banks, media, the competitors, right? Pressure parties, pressure institutions. There's a question. Sir, can manager come under internal? Yes, manager comes under internal. Manager, he is a part of employee. Manager is an employee. So he is within the organization, within the business. So we call him internal. Outside the organizations are called external. Right? So each stakeholder need the financial information for their part, their decision making, to take economic decisions. It is not just decisions, it is economic decisions. There's another question, so can shareholders also internal? It's like this. When it comes to shareholders, they normally consider as external parties, investors. Separate investors, they consider as external, but if they are involved in the business, ordinary shareholders, we consider as internal parties, right? External, the preference shareholders, or like redeemable preference shareholders, the debenture holders, right? So if they are not involving within the organization, we consider them as external, but if they are into the organization, we consider them as internal. Right. So what is meant by economic decisions? It's a very important term, economic decision. Right. So let's see what is meant by the economics. So you have the subject called economics. So I hope all of you have done the basic introduction of economics. Basic introduction of economics. So what is economics? Economics means it starts with the concept called scarcity. So what is this scarcity? Everybody who involved in the business, we spoke about the stakeholders. All the stakeholders has limited resources. All the stakeholders has limited resources. Limited. Right? They have limited land, limited time, limited money, right? But their wants are unlimited. Unlimited wants. Right? For example, if you take the owners, the shareholders, right? They have limited money to invest. Right? They have limited time, limited entrepreneurship skills, but their wants are unlimited. They want to start several businesses, they want to buy a vehicle, they want to travel, right? But they can't satisfy everything. So take an employee, he has limited time. So he is working in one company, but he has so many wants. He need money, right? He need to build a house, he need to purchase a vehicle, right? So he can't do everything. Therefore, limited resources and unlimited wants, there is a scarcity. Scarce, right? So he can't satisfy, the stakeholders can't satisfy everything. Therefore, they will select the best options, the best option available. They will choose the best, and they sacrifice everything else. Sacrifice everything else. And there will be an opportunity cost. Opportunity cost. Right? For an example, let's say there is an employee. He works in an organization. He works in Hemas, right? He's getting 100,000 salary, and he has limited time, limited resources. So he's working in one company. Then he gets the company financial results. The company is making good profits. Right? Company is giving a good salary. Company is giving a bonus, incentive. So based on that, he will make his decision. He may have another option to work in another company. He will get another option from Unilever. Right? If the options are better, he will choose the best option. Right? He sacrificed the other one and he select the best option. And the whatever he sacrificed becomes the opportunity cost. So this is what we call an economic decision. Economic decisions. Making decisions on these economic factors. Right? It's not a just decision. Right? No emotional decisions. It's only based on the best option available. So if you take each stakeholder, right, the owners will see the profit. Based on the profit, they will make their economic decision to further invest or to stop. Further invest or to stop. Or the government, let's say the creditors, they will think whether they can recover the money. The financial, they see the financials of the business. If the company is making huge losses, every year the company is making losses. So the supplier will say, oh, I don't provide you stock because you can't pay. And they will stop. Their decision is not sending the goods. Right? So all these stakeholders make economic decisions. So that is the importance of economic decision. Right. So I was explaining it's a function which provides financial information. So when you read the term, the background story should come to your mind. Function, input, process, output, financial information, qualitative, quantitative, financial, non-financial, various parties, internals, external. Right? That should come to your mind of a business. So what is a business? Business. So there are many things that you need to learn about business. You learn few the basic definitions here, and later under terms we will learn all other factors as well. Right. So business is an economic activity which is related with continuous and regular production and distribution of goods and services for satisfying needs and wants. It's an economic activity. It's continuous. Regularly you do that activity. There is a production and distribution of goods, services, satisfying human wants and needs. So when we do the definition of the business, we will learn all these terms. What is production, what is distribution, what is the uh, distribution channels, goods and services, the differences, right, needs and wants. So all this we will learn. And the characteristics, the objectives, the classification, right, the business process. So it's accounting is done for a business, not for any other thing. Right. So again, coming back to the definition of a business by doing this process. So already I was explaining the accounting process. Already I was explaining the accounting process. Collecting, recording, classifying, summarizing, interpreting financial transactions. So already I explained what are the transactions. Financial transaction means transactions and events. Both transactions and events. Right? Occurred in an accounting entity. Occurred in an accounting entity. So what is mean by accounting entity? Accounting entity means it is a separate entity from its owners. If this is the owner and if this is the entity, if this is the business, this business is considered as a separate entity and it is called accounting entity. It can be a sole trader, it can be a partnership or a company or a corporation, club, cooperatives, anything, right? And it's separate business entity, separate from the owner. That is called accounting entity, right? Okay. So that's about the definition. Based on the definition only, you will get the question. So this covers almost 80% of the first chapter, right? Then I'll explain few more important things where we can answer for the MCQs. Objectives of accounting. The main objective is providing information to stakeholders. That's the main objective. And there are some other general objectives as well. Keeping proper records, calculating the profit, showing the financial position, right? Calculating the results means the profit or loss. And protecting the properties for decision-making purposes and also to satisfy the requirement of law, company registrar, the Colombo Stock Exchange, inland revenue. So we satisfy the requirement of law. So those are the other general objectives. Right. And another most important part, and many questions, every year one question is there from the difference between the management accounting and financial accounting. Management accounting and financial accounting, right? So financial accounting, we provide the financial statement and the information which we provide is historical, past. And it is mainly for the external parties, internal and external both, and mainly for external stakeholders and internal and external stakeholders, like investors, bank, media, suppliers, right? And it is provided for a specific period. Normally, we provide the financial information for 1 year. And also, we follow accounting concepts, rules, and regulations. So this is about the financial accounting. Management accounting is completely different. It is forecasting, budgeting, and only for the internal parties. Who are the internal parties? The management, internal. And period, it can be 1 day, it can be 5 years, it can be 99 years. For example, let's say the port city project, right? Or highway projects. So normally the government give the land for outsiders for 99-year lease. So the reports that they provide, analyze to see the feasibility of the business, to see the feasibility of that project, they have to make the financials for 99 years, right? So the period is 99. So that is management accounting, but financial accounting only 1 year. And there is no specific rules, regulations, the concepts related to management accounting, right? So can you tell me some qualifications on financial accounting? Just in the chat box, you can type. What are the qualifications in financial accounting? Anyway, if you are a student who is looking at accounting field, you should be able to know qualifications. We have chartered, we have ACCA, CIMA, CMA, AAT. So how do you divide? Tell me some financial accounting qualifications. Financial accounting. So I got AAT. Yes, it's a financial accounting qualification. And I got chartered, CA, chartered accountancy, and ACC. Yes. So these are specially focusing on financial accounting, right? And there are management accounting qualifications. CIMA, management accounting, CMA, certified management accountant. So these are management accounting, especially focusing on budgeting, forecasting, account. So qualification also you have, when you are deciding your higher education, you have to decide, okay, am I going to be a financial accountant or am I going to be a management accountant? Right. So based on that, you decide. Okay. Right. Okay. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some questions. Let's do a question. Right. So this is the tube that you will be getting. And so register will be the tube. And in the tube, all the mind map will be provided. So I did up to this part, up to financial accounting and management accounting part. Then you will have some assignments, right, related to A level, right? I'll anyway share this tube. Okay, I will share this tube. So you will have to do the A level papers and AAT papers, AAT related papers. So chartered, we have chartered questions. So every year they also ask. So but from what you learn, you can answer this. And some of the See, there are many questions, and some of the questions from ACCA and CIMA also I have included. I'll share that. Okay, so let's do some A-level questions. Okay, right. Now tell me the answer for 2017 CT1. You can write the question number and give me the answer. We'll do around 5 questions. 2017, yes. Answer is 2. I'm getting different answers. 5. Okay, most of you all are saying 5. What is the main purpose of financial accounting in a firm? To provide information to managers to take decisions? No. Managers. To provide information to government to charge tax on the income? To provide information to auditors? To provide information to monitor compliance of financial statements with accounting standard? External stakeholders. So answer is number 5. So that is from the definition that we learned. And providing information to stakeholders, especially financial accounting is for external, internal, external, both, not only for management, government and all, so both, right? Okay, so (2016). Tell me the answer. 2016. 2016 answer. Which of the following statement best describes the purpose of accounting? To record the transaction, to record the transaction, to prepare, to communicate, managers, to communicate for stakeholders. 5. Yeah. So it's 5. Okay. So likewise, we have some questions. So I'll share this to you. Right? You all can download it and do this question. Anyway, this same thing will be in the Google Classroom MCQ session. So this week MCQ session, I will be doing this chapter. Okay, right. So since we have some time, I'm going to do one question. I'm going to do one question where we are going to learn the accounting equation, ledger accounts, trial balance, income statement, and statement of financial position. A complete process. Right? So the basic parts I will be doing in the normal class, but to have an overall idea, I hope most of you all have done some of the basic things in the accounting, right? So based on that, we will try to do this question. Okay. So we have some transactions. Example 1. I'm doing example 1. This. There are 10 transactions. There are 10 transactions. Now what we are going to do is the 10 transaction we are going to record in the accounting equation, and we will calculate the profits, and we will record them in the ledger accounts, and we will prepare the trial balance, income statement, and statement of financial position. So can you all start with me right now? Take a pen and a book, right? Take a pen and a book and start doing it with me. Okay. A complete process, right? Not only recording in the equation until preparation of income statement and SOP. So I will start with, we need to draw the equation. Assets equals capital plus liabilities. Assets equals capital plus liabilities. So first transaction, the owner invested cash. So if the owner is investing cash, the asset will increase. Asset will increase, right, when we do in thousands. And the capital of the business will increase by 100,000. Cash will increase, capital will increase. So you all can do it, right? Before I explain, if you know, you can do. Purchased a motor vehicle. We are purchasing, giving cash minus 70,000. And when you buy a motor vehicle will increase by 70. Cash minus motor vehicle plus. Third transaction, cash purchases. We are giving cash minus, and the stock will increase by 30. Cash will be minus, stock will be plus. Cash purchases. Sales. Cost is 30. So that means 30,000 worth of stock we are giving. Stock will be minus. And we will get cash 60. And there will be a profit of 30. A profit of 30. 30,000 worth of stock selling for 60. Right. Next, obtaining a bank loan where you will get cash 80,000 and liability of 80,000 will be created. It's a liability. Bank loan is a liability. Repayment of bank loan means it's the reversal of what you received. Repayment 20. Bank loan is deducted by 20. January 7th, owner's drawings. So cash will reduce if he takes money 50 and capital will reduce by 50. Owner's drawings. Owner takes money from the business. Then he invests additional capital. Additional capital, cash increase by 90. Again, the capital will increase by 90. There is a question. So this part in detail you will be explaining in the revision class. Yeah, in the revision class, it goes from the beginning, right? Now I have given the timetable. So based on the timetable, we will follow one by one individually. I will be explaining here. Now what I am doing is just going through the process. I'm just going through the accounting process, starting with the transactions and event, recording them in the accounting equation, then calculating up to the income statement and SOFP, just rushing through the process. Just get an idea, but one by one, we will do it in the revision class. Okay. Interest income, receiving cash 40,000, and all the income and expenses will be recorded in the capital column. So this interest income will increase the capital by 40,000. Interest income will increase the capital by 40,000. And last one, payment of electricity. Cash will be minus and expense capital will reduce. Electricity minus. So that's all. Based on this, we record the transactions in the equation and we take the total values. Liabilities is 60. So can someone tell me the answers for the assets and capital if you have done? You can give me the answer. Capital 100 plus 30 minus 50. capital is 200, asset is 260. So that's how we prepare the accounting equation. Now the second question, first question, accounting equation. The second question, can you all calculate the profit of this business? Profit of this business. How much is the profit? How much is the profit? So there are two methods to calculate the profits. There are two methods to calculate the profits. Okay. What is the profit? I'm expecting some answers. I got one answer. It is not 250. So I've got several answers. 60, 30, 100, 130, 250. Oh, 200. So there are doubts. Okay. So how do you calculate the profit? Profit means income minus expenses. Income minus expenses. So in this capital column, in the capital column only, you have recorded the profits. Profit means all the income and expenses. Right? So let's see what are the income and expenses. So there are three items. Three items which affects the profit. There is a profit of 30 from the sales, and there is an interest income of 40, and there is an electricity expense of 10. Right? So from the income, if you deduct the expense, you will get the profit. So calculation of net profit, we can prepare an income statement. From the income, we deduct the expense. So there is a profit of 30 and interest income of 40 and expense is electricity of 10. So total income is 70, which is plus. Total expense is 10. So net profit is 60. Net profit is 60. That's how you calculate the profit. And that's one method. Income statement is one method. Income minus expense is one method. And there is another method, right? Net profit equals closing capital minus opening capital plus drawings minus additional capital, right? I will explain all this later, right? Now just note this equation. Okay, so if we take the net profit equals closing capital was 200, opening capital was 100 plus drawings is 50 Additional capital is 90. So if you substitute all these values, you will get the answer as 60. So there are two methods to calculate the net profits. There are two methods to calculate the net profit. Okay. So you can use one of the method in the exam. Closing capital minus account. Yes. Right. So in exam, you can use one of the method. And mostly uh, there are questions which is from the profit equation, because there is another chapter called incomplete records. Under the incomplete records, one of the key area is calculating the profits. Right. Then we have to record them in the ledger accounts. We have to record the transactions in the ledger accounts using the double entry principle. So the double entry principle says assets and expenses increase debit, decrease credit. Increase debit, decrease credit. And the capital income liabilities, increase will be credit, decrease will be debit. So using the double entry principle, now we are going to record all these transactions in the ledger accounts. Right. So let's record the transactions. We need a cash account, a capital account, motor vehicle, right? I'm just drawing the ledger accounts now. Purchases, sales, bank loan, drawings, interest, income, and electricity. So we will need 9 ledger accounts to record this transaction. So let's record the transactions in the ledger account. So I will do one for you all. You can continue. First transaction, the owner invest capital. Cash will increase. Cash increase is debit. The description will be capital. Cash increase. Cash account debit. Capital account credit 100. Cash account debit. Capital account credit. Cash account debit. Capital account credit. Purchasing a motor vehicle, then cash account credit, because cash decrease 70. Cash decrease by 70. And motor vehicle account will increase by 70. Motor vehicle account increase by 70. It is an asset. Asset increase debit. Then third transaction, I did the first one and the second one. And the third transaction, purchases. Cash will reduce 30. And purchases account, when you are recording in ledger account, the purchases will be recorded in the purchases account, not in the stock account. But In the accounting equation, you show it as stock. Right? Fourth transaction, sales. Remember, when you are recording sales, you record only the selling price, not the cost. So cash will increase, sales 60, and sales account will be credited 60, same cash. Right? Sales, you record only the selling price, not the cost. Then the fifth transaction, obtaining a bank loan. So if you take a bank loan, cash will increase by 80, and the bank loan will increase by 80. Bank loan increase by 80. It's a liability. Liability increases credit. Then when you repay, cash will decrease. Bank loan 20. And the bank loan will reduce by 20. Bank loan will reduce by 20. That's fifth and sixth transaction. Drawings. Cash will reduce because owner takes money from the business by 50, and drawings account will be debit by 50. Drawings account debit. Interest income, it's an income. Cash will increase by 40, and income account is credit. Cash 40. Income account credit. Finally, the electricity payment. Electricity 10,000. And the electricity account will be debit. Cash. Oh, sorry. Additional capital. Yes, before that there is an additional capital. Before the interest income, there is an additional capital. So we will record that capital. And cash account debit, capital account. Again, you have to credit 90. So that completes all the transactions. So once you record the transactions, then the next step is balancing. Balance, write it down. Balance outflow. So we take the total of debit side of the cash book, and we have to take the difference with the credit side. So 190 is the cash book balance. So likewise, we have to take the closing balances. So I hope you don't know how to calculate the closing balances. If anyone is having a doubt, please drop me a message or let me know. I will explain. So without taking too much time, I will take the balances. Then after that, prepare the trial balance. Prepare the trial balance. So once you are done with the ledger accounts, draw the trial balance, debit and credit. So starting with cash, cash is having a debit balance, capital, credit, moderators, debits. Always you take the balance brought forward. If the balance brought forward is in the debit side, we take to the debit side, or we take to the credit if it is in the credit. Bank loan, credit 60, drawings, debit 50, interest income, credit 40, electricity, debit 10. So you complete the trial balance. So the main purpose of this question is for you all to give a full picture. That's it, right? So later, one by one, I will be explaining all these uh, concepts. Okay. Next, now we have a trial balance. Using the trial balance, we are going to prepare the income statement and a statement of financial position. Using the trial balance, from very basic question, I am completing all these complete set of accounts. Right. So the format of the income statement will be sales minus cost of sales. Cost of sales means opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. Then you will get the gross profit. Then if there is any other income, you will add, and any expenses will be deducted. Finally, you will get the net profit. And statement of financial position, non-current asset and current asset will be the total assets then equity, non-current liabilities and current liabilities will give total equity and liabilities. Right, so let's quickly record the transactions. We have sales 60, there is no opening stock, purchases 30, equity will be calculated, capital plus net profit minus drawings. Right. Then there is no opening stock and also there is no closing stock as well. Right. So we recorded, we have the cash balance 190, it's a current asset. Then capital is 190. Motor vehicle is a non-current asset, which is 70. Purchases we recorded. Sales is done. Bank loan is a non-current liability, which is 60. Drawings is 50. Interest income is 40. And electricity 10. So we can calculate the gross profit, which is 30. And the net profit. If you take the same answer, which uh, came from the accounting equation. So the net profit is 60. We are getting the same answer. So net profit will be transferred to the statement of financial position. Then total assets 260. Total equity plus liabilities will be 260. Right. So this is the process of accounting, right? Now, one by one, we need to learn again what are the assets, liabilities, what are the ledger accounts, how to do the double entries for the transactions, how to prepare the trial balance, the format of income account, statement of financial position. So all this we need to learn one by one. So this is, I gave an overall picture about the process, right? Okay, so I'll give a few minutes for you all to ask any questions. Right. There is a question why we don't maintain an account for additional capital. No, we don't maintain an account for additional capital because it's capital. We can record it in the capital account. Let's say for sales, different sales, we don't maintain different account. There is one sales account, we will record all the sales in that account. Right? Let's say we have a motor vehicle. So when you purchase motor vehicles, for all the motor vehicles, we will maintain only one account. So similarly, for capital, one account will be maintained for each capital investment. So no need separate capital accounts for additional capital. Okay, so yeah, so I will share the, in accounting equation, there is one question. Do we need to write this names. If you have asset equals capital plus liabilities, it's always better to write the asset, the item. But in most of the questions, they will give you different types like inventory plus debtors plus non-current asset equals capital plus bank loan. Likewise, if they do give like that, you don't need to write the item here. You can just write the values, right? Even if you write the values, it is not wrong. They won't cut marks. They will give the marks. But for your knowledge, it's always better to learn with the item. So can you explain the income statement closing stock part again? Yes. Now closing stock, I took it from here. Now we have purchases 30,000. 30,000 purchased. Okay. And from 30,000, there is a sales. So this entire 30,000 what you purchased was sold. Therefore, no closing stock. There is no opening stock. There is no closing stock. All 30,000. This is the cost of sales. So this 30,000 is the cost of sales. So that is why in your income statement, the cost of sales is 30,000. Cost of sales is 30,000 because this entire 30, closing stock is 0. So entire 30 becomes cost of sales. Entire 30,000 becomes cost of sales. Right? So that's the explanation for that. Any other questions? This is the basic one. And you have another question in the tube, which I sent, question number 2. I want you all to do question number 2 as a homework. You all do it and send me the answer. I will share the answers with you all. Okay. So then some of the students, they ask how to join the classes and how to make the payments. I will share the class details. So you all can go through this detail, right? So we provide all the mind map recordings, LMS, everything. And this is the class schedule. There are 3 classes you all can join. The revision class will be conducted on Friday. This is the timetable, 6:30 to 8:30. As per the schedule, this schedule, 27th, 4th, 11th, it's the timetable. This is your revision class. Okay, so other than this revision class, you have a separate paper discussion or mainly for MCQ discussion. It will be on Thursdays, 5 to 6:30. This is a free session. Right? This is the paid session. And if anyone who is joining the revision class, they can also join the theory classes, which will be on every Tuesday. If you are not very good with the basics, like the double entries, the basic things, I will do in the theory class. We are doing very from the basic, not very much fast. We will do it in very slow. So you will understand all the basics. And some areas I will do some videos and upload. So mock exams also we will do in the revision class. And if you are interested in joining, you can join before end of the month. you can do the payment. We'll share the bank details and everything. So once you do the payment, just drop me a message. So I will add to another separate group for the class students. So for them, there will be a separate Google Classroom. You can have all the uh, materials, and the tubes will be delivered to you. So before you can do, if you can register before 30th, right? By second or third, you can get the tube. So when you are coming to the next class, you will have the tube. So it will be easy for us to continue the papers and questions. Any other questions? Right. Is it clear? I just brief you all on some of the basic areas only. Uh, when we go with the timetable, we'll explain more. Theory class want to pay differently for both. No, no. Theory class is, if you are joining for the revision, theory class is free. You can join. No need to pay any additional payment for that. Only one payment, that is only for revision class. You can follow all the 3 sessions. No need additional payment for that. It's free. Okay. So if there is any further things that you all want to uh, ask, just drop me a message. I will try to help you. So thank you for joining. Thank you for staying until the last minute. Right. So I will see you and keep in touch. Even if you are uh, not joining for the revision class, join the MCQ. It will be really useful because last time also a lot of students they got benefited from the MCQ sessions we had. And also, if there is anything that you all want to know, just drop me a message. Even and another thing, if you are not joining because of any financial difficulties, drop me a message. I'm ready to give free class and free cards for uh, students who are unable to pay the fee. So don't worry about the financials. Just drop me a message. Tell me anything. We can sort it out. Right. So all the best. Thank you for joining. I'll see you in the next class. Good night and God bless you.